what happens is your brain naturally wants to distract you. It wants you to go look at TikToks. It wants you to go look at IG reels because those things give you quick dopamine, but there is no satisfaction. Have you ever wondered what successful people have that you don't? What are they doing that you might not be doing? How are they so fit, toned, and healthy while you're not? You ever wondered what you might be missing? Hi, my name is Mo Gayas. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning and sharing the lessons with you because growing up, I wish I had someone like me to help me out. On the Healthy Systems podcast, you will learn one main idea, system from each episode that you can use in your life, whether that is financial, relationships, fitness, and wellness. So if you're a millennial, you're hyper ambitious, this podcast is for you because the more systematic your life is, the more you can win and not waste time. So join me on your journey to building a life of healthy systems for yourself. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo, and today's topic is protect your mornings and how your mornings can help you get so much more done in life. So it was about 4 years ago when I was having a coaching conversation with a very successful mentor of mine. And this guy in his early 30s, and he was very successful financially, but also had great health. And he also had a great family life with his wife. He just had it put together. And we were on this one-on-one Zoom call. And I was asking him, I was like, bro, like, how do you create these amazing resources? He had amazing courses. He had an amazing book. He had done some amazing things. And I was like, how? Like, what's your process? What's your routine? What is your day-to-day like? Like, how do you structure these things so you have the most creative juice and to get these things done? Because I would look at his resources and I was like, man, like, these are very well researched. They're just very good products all together. Whereas a lot of the time you meet people in the creative space, the ones that can get things done, sometimes those are scrappy. They're not very good. It just feels like, okay, this person had been putting it off and they just kind of like, got motivated and got it done in a day. Versus this guy's stuff was actually like good. So I asked him, I was like, what's your secret? How? And he just smiled and he looked at me and he said, protect your mornings. That's what it all comes down to. Protect your mornings. And I was like, okay, tell me more. He said, if you start your day off in a rush, scattered brain, and start by watching reels on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, and just consuming social media content, your creative juices will be depleted very quickly. And you'll often start comparing yourself to others. So what happens is if the first thing that goes into your brain in the morning is other people's content, other people's highlights of their life, what you tend to do is you start comparing yourself to others, and that just destroys the entire chance you had of creating anything genuine that day, creating anything that was real, writing something that was actually from your brain and not by putting other people's stuff into your brain. So he used to say, like, protect your mornings. And, one of the advice he had was don't look at your phone for the first hour in the morning. Don't look at it. Be more protective of your mornings. And the tasks that require the most willpower, the tasks that are easy to procrastinate on, he said, do them first thing in the morning. And he even used the words that were eat the frog, right? And that Eat the Frog is actually a book by Brian Tracy. So if you haven't read it, pick it up. It's a great book. But the whole concept is you do the hardest thing in the morning. So if in your current phase of your life, you've been procrastinating on exercising and working out, I would highly advise you to make your first thing in the morning the workout. Go to the gym, right? Like, wake up, don't even look at your phone, just go to the gym or work out at home, however you have your setup, because that will force you to actually get the hardest thing done. And once you have eaten the frog in the morning, the rest of the day is super easy, right? But let's say you're somebody that has your exercise, your nutrition in order, but you've been wanting to write this one thing or create a new business or start something or achieve something, but you keep putting it off. Then I would urge you to do that first thing in the morning. Okay. So whatever is that one thing is that's requiring a lot of willpower and you've been just putting it off, but it's important to do, just knock that out first thing in the morning. Just protect your morning. And one tip that actually that mentor didn't give me, but I've learned over time is a really easy way to make your mornings even more effective is the night before, make a list of what you need to do. And I'm not talking Let's say you want to make a course. Let's say you want to write a book. Don't just be like, write the book. Don't just have that in your list. Actually, be more specific. So be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to work on chapter 1 of my book. And the topic of that chapter 1 is nutrition. And I'll start with highlighting the importance of proteins, carbs, and fats, or however you want to do it. But I want you to be more specific, because the more specific you are, the more work you'll get done in the morning. So this is happening the night before. So while you're wrapping up your workday, just make a list of, okay, the next morning, I will start chipping away at chapter 1 on this topic of nutrition. Essentially, I'll create 3 little chapters on each of these, right? And that's it. So the more specific you can be, the easier it'll be. So in the first thing in the morning, you wake up, you drink some water, you get yourself ready. Then when you go to your desk, you have that list already laid out. You haven't even looked at your phone yet. You had your list laid out, and you just start typing, you start writing, you start creating, right? Even that thought process, you can tell how good it feels. And then once you're done, after you'll get in this flow state. The first 10 minutes or so, you're still getting into the work mode, but you'll get into this flow state that'll be hard to stop you. And imagine if you can do that every day. Imagine you're just that systematic, because at that point, it's not like you write when the inspiration strikes. It's the fact that that inspiration will strike every morning at 6 a.m. because you have this system set up, right? So at the end of the day, protect your mornings. Don't look at your phone. I used to get a lot of shit from my friends where they'd be like, man, Mo's phone is on airplane mode, or he just doesn't message back, because I have an iPhone and my friends would message me. And if my phone was on airplane mode, because I get distracted easily, I know that's a weakness of mine. So I would often just put my phone in another room, put it on airplane mode, not even think about it. So my friends would text me from their iPhones, and it would show up as green text because my phone is off. And they'd be like, hey, man, what's going on? Did you block me or something? I'm like, no, none of that. Summer is about 3 months away. So if you want to look your very best this summer, because chances are you've tried in the past and you're like, I'm going to get myself in shape. I'm going to keep myself accountable. I'm going to get this workout program. And then you just stick with it for a couple of days and then it goes away. And that's not your fault. That's actually just lack of support. So at Training with the Titans, who is actually sponsoring this podcast, Training with the Titans, this is what we do. We're health and fitness coaches. We're also nutrition coaches. And currently we're taking on 5 clients. So if you're listening to this episode, all you got to do, if you're interested in learning more, all you got to do is just DM me, direct message me the word Healthy Systems Summer 2024. Just four words, Healthy Systems. So I know you're coming from the podcast, and then Summer 2024. So then I can give you the proper information. We can perhaps get on a call and get to know you better, get to know your goals better. But if you're in that phase and you actually want this summer to be the summer where you look your best, you feel your best, then just take advantage of this opportunity, and just DM me the word Healthy Systems Summer 2024. And you can DM me on Facebook and Instagram. My handles are the same. It's just Mo Ghias, Ghias. And then I'll take care of you. I just have this time in my calendar where I have to do some deep work. I'm creating resources. It really requires my brain power. And those things naturally are hard. And our brain don't want to do hard things. So what tends to happen is, as you start chipping away on your writing or on your anything that requires creative powers, what happens is your brain naturally wants to distract you. It wants you to go look at TikToks. It wants you to go look at IG Reels, because those things give you quick dopamine, but there is no satisfaction. So even now, there are times when I'll be working on a task, something that is difficult or hard. My brain is like, yeah, what? Let's just go listen to that song that you've been wanting to listen to. Right? My brain does that to me. And I think everybody's brain does that. Most people are just not aware of it. So we have this natural human programming, which was just meant to help us survive. It's not meant to create stuff. It's not meant to help us thrive. So at the end of the day, know your own BS and fight it with everything you got. So this is a super easy one. Wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone, protect your morning, have the list the night, write down the power list from the night before. Just start chipping away at it first thing in the morning. And then the reward is you get to look at your phone after you've been working for an hour or an hour and a half. That's the reward. And you imagine because at the end of the day, human psychology is very simple. It comes down to reward and punishment. So we like doing things that we're rewarded for and avoid things that we get punished for, right? We are animalistic creatures at heart. So why don't you program your own self for that? What's wrong with that? In the early days of my my business career, I would reward myself. So whenever we got a new customer, I would walk over to the Whole Foods. I used to live near Whole Foods, and I would buy this chocolate I really liked. And it's a really healthy chocolate by Human Kitchen. We're actually an affiliate partners of theirs, but I would go to the Whole Foods and buy that $5 chocolate bar. And it was like almost no sugar and a very healthy chocolate, but I just enjoyed that dark chocolate. And whenever I would eat it, it would remind my brain that, hey, Mo just rewarded me for doing that one task. That means if I do that task more often, I'll get more rewards. So you see how you can train your brain for that? You see how you can train your brain to be actually like, yes, like I want to do more of that because I get rewarded for it. Versus you can also punish yourself a little bit by when you don't want to do a certain thing. So let's say like on a Friday night, you went out and you had a lot of unhealthy food. You had donuts, you had this, and you were just eating out. You ate a lot of French fries and you did all of that. Then on Saturday, I would perhaps punish myself just a little bit. I might not eat until about 5 p.m. I would stay hungry. I would be like, okay, brain, you want to play games with me? Yeah, we're going to punish you a little bit. Right? Like I don't think that's unhealthy. I think that's actually a super good way to like train your brain to actually like doing things that are good for you and avoid things that are not good for you. Right? And I know this podcast, that wasn't even the topic. I got a little sidetracked, but at the end of the day, if you protect your mornings, you end up having more willpower to do good things throughout the day because you're rewarding your brain to do the good things, do the things you've been avoiding. And man, the best part is the feeling you get after you do these things. So after, imagine you've been putting this book off that you want to write, but today you wrote for 1 hour and you got in this flow state. That night you'll go to bed very satisfied. That night you'll go to bed that, man, I did my life's work today. It feels great. I think one of the biggest reasons people are sad and depressed and anxiety and depression pills are through the roof these days. And it feels like everybody's smoking weed to fight their anxiety. I think the biggest reason is the hot take, but I think the biggest reason is people are not working on things that give them purpose because the things that give you purpose are hard by nature. And we try to avoid that because it's super easy to get distracted on TikTok and Instagram. Super easy, right? Instead of doing the thing you want to do, it's super easy to get dopamine from other sources that are just temporary. And then you go to bed and you're like, man, I feel like I did a lot. My brain is tired, but my soul does not feel fulfilled today at all because I did stuff that just did not move me closer to my purpose. Versus people that have these protections in place, they protect their mornings. They're, just more in line with their goals and purpose. Those people don't have that lack of fulfillment option. They're just feeling fulfilled. They're moving forward. They're getting after it, right? Like, for example, it's a beautiful day out. I can go for a run right now, or I can just watch another 30 minutes on Instagram reel, or perhaps get distracted for another 2 hours. So protect your mornings because they will by far set the tone for the rest of your day. And if anything you get out of this podcast, it is don't look at your phone for the first hour and work on things that you actually have been avoiding. So whatever that one thing is, make a power list. Boom. The next morning you wake up, no looking at your phone, drink lots of water. If you're a coffee person, make yourself a nice cup of coffee. And I want you on your work desk working and chipping away at that one thing that you've been putting off. And I promise you, it'll be your life's work. It'll feel great. And you'll just go to bed happier than the night before. Hope this helps. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.